Hey everyone, welcome back to Arijit Talk Sports. This is Arijit, and since the 2020 Formula One season has reached its halfway point, समय आ गया है कि we talk about some of the interesting talking points that have come out from this season. So without any delay, let's begin. Since it's 2020 और कोविड का समय है तो Formula One has been happening without fans. तो कैसा लगता है Formula One without fans? So personally, I think कि उतना बुरा नहीं लगता है. You know, most of the times you are satisfied with the action that you see on the track. I mean, if you compare it with other sports like cricket या football जो कि fans के बिना हो रहे हैं तो वो सारे sports ज़्यादा weird लगते हैं without fans than Formula One. तो I think Formula One is surprisingly missing fans less than the other sports according to me. That is, as a viewer, I am missing the presence of fans less in Formula One as compared to other sports, which is always a good thing. Next thing that I thought was definitely worth talking about was Lewis Hamilton and his continued dominance. So I know people are hating Lewis Hamilton for winning every weekend almost, but I think we should appreciate what he's doing right now. Obviously, it's easier for me to appreciate Lewis Hamilton as a Lewis Hamilton fan. But I think every Formula One fan should be appreciating him right now. Yes, he's dominating the sport like no one else before. तो मुझे लगता है कि definitely people want to see different winners every weekend. But जिस तरीके से Lewis Hamilton dominate करा वो भी appreciate करना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हाँ उसके पास एक Mercedes car है. But Valtteri Bottas also has a Mercedes car and he can't win those races. तो जिस तरीके से लुइस हैमिल्टन 6 टाइम चैंपियन होने के बाद भी ये पीक परफॉर्मेंस हर वीकेंड निकाल रहा है उस कार से, जिस तरीके से वो डोमिनेट कर रहा है, इतने सारे टैलेंटेड ड्राइवर्स है उस ग्रिड पे, उसके बावजूद लुइस हैमिल्टन हर वीकेंड चाहे वो क्वालिफाइंग हो चाहे वो रेस हो, जिस तरीके से डोमिनेट कर रहा है, जिस तरीके से जीत रहा है, जिस तरीके से अपने कॉम्पिटिशन को बार बार हरा रहा है, that is just pure greatness that we're witnessing, and it's something that I don't think we are going to witness anytime soon again after Hamilton retires. So we should really appreciate and enjoy what we're seeing right now. Now let's talk about Ferrari. So Ferrari have absolutely disappointed us this year. So the car that they've put up this year is so much worse than the car that they put up last year, and that I don't know why that has happened, but that is just mind-boggling क्योंकि Ferrari are behind teams like Racing Point and McLaren at this point. और मतलब जोक है जो कार उन्होंने put up किया है इस year, because for me it was such a shocker to see Ferrari perform so poorly race after race after race. क्योंकि before the season started I said Charles Leclerc is going to be the number one challenger to Lewis Hamilton this season, because I thought Charles Leclerc obviously super talented, mature हो जाएगा इस year, you give him an amazing Ferrari car, he's going to do amazing things. Not happened. I mean, Ferrari just gave him a very bad car, and that is really not done. I mean, because when you're a team like Ferrari and people have those expectations, you can't go down इतना ज़्यादा एक season में. So that has just really blindsided me and disappointed me, and I'm sure that is the case with every other Formula One fan right now. Now, talking about Charles Leclerc in particular, I think Charles Leclerc has been amazing. Even with this car, he has been amazing. I mean, he's got some podium finishes और बहुत सारे अच्छे performances रहे Charles Leclerc के. He is getting the maximum out of that car that Ferrari has given him. Vettel भी कोशिश कर रहा है. Vettel I think is not on the level of Charles Leclerc right now, but still I think because he's also very frustrated with the way Ferrari handled everything, asking him to leave. तो उस तरीके से Vettel is not doing as good as Charles Leclerc, but definitely I just think कि obviously इतने poor car के साथ it's very difficult to perform. So I won't put a lot of the blame on Sebastian Vettel right now, because Ferrari have been super disappointing. And I just hope कि 2022 तक Ferrari improve कर सके and we can see that Mercedes Ferrari rivalry again. तो बात करते हैं Valtteri Bottas के बारे में. तो Valtteri Bottas के लिए another frustrating year behind Lewis Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship. Second पे अभी doesn't look like that he's going to really challenge Hamilton for that title again this year. First race जीता, but उसके बाद से Lewis Hamilton has just been the better man on qualifying day, on race day, every weekend. तो मुझे लगता है Valtteri Bottas really needs to improve. I mean, even ऐसा नहीं कि उसमें he's a great driver, और ऐसा नहीं कि that he's not challenging Hamilton or he's not trying to challenge Lewis Hamilton. I mean, इस weekend पे भी जब रेस का फर्स्ट स्टार्ट हुआ, then Lewis Hamilton को he overtook Lewis Hamilton for the first spot, but जब रीस्टार्ट का समय आया तो just Lewis Hamilton took that number one spot back. तो ऐसा नहीं कि he's a bad driver, he's a great driver, and I think he's doing some amazing things with that Mercedes car. But he just needs to improve because he is against someone who is better, and until he looks at his performances and just improves and just somehow becomes better than Hamilton is not going to let him win, because Hamilton really has an insatiable appetite for success. So to beat him, Bottas just needs to improve. Now let's talk about Red Bull. Surprisingly, Red Bull have become the second best team in Formula One right now, especially after the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. लगा था कि they could actually, compete with Mercedes for that constructors championship. ऐसा नहीं हुआ. Obviously, Mercedes has dominated ever since. But I think Red Bull are doing some amazing, interesting things right now. They're definitely an exciting team to look at. They have two exciting young drivers in Verstappen and Albon. So I think Red Bull can improve अपने car में because reliability issues. I mean, you can't give Max Verstappen a car which just has mechanical failure, 2 weeks in a row. That is just unfair on him and unfair on the team. तो अगर वहाँ पे improve कर सके तो I think definitely, अच्छा कर सकते हैं because I mean they don't have a car as good as Mercedes, but they have a car that performs, at points in the races, and with a driver like Max Verstappen, in the cockpit, anything can happen. तो अगर reliability issues fix करे तो मुझे लगता है और much stronger competition दे पाएंगे Mercedes को. Now, particularly drivers के बारे में बात करते हैं, Max Verstappen has been beyond amazing. I mean कि if you ask me, after Lewis Hamilton, he is definitely the most talented driver on the grid, and he is a future world champion for sure. जिस तरीके से जब उसे अच्छा कार मिला है तो जिस तरीके से he has taken the fight to Mercedes, it just cements his legacy even more. It just cements the fact that Verstappen is amazingly talented and he is going to be a world champion in the future. Alex Albon has had some difficult races, but this weekend he finished on the podium. Amazing to see. I wish that he really steps up, on his performances on a regular basis, because when we're talking about Mercedes and Red Bull against each other, and Bottas and Hamilton are leading, and Verstappen is trying to split the two and he's trying to do something for Red Bull. If he has support in form of Alex Albon, at the top 3, top 4 spots, then I think he would be, doing much better, and Red Bull would be doing much better. So if Alex Albon can consistently perform better every weekend, like he performed this weekend, then Red Bull will be looking up. Let's talk about the middle class of Formula One. And when I talk about the middle class of Formula One, I refer to Racing Point, I refer to McLaren, I refer to Renault. And in some ways I do also refer to Alpha Tauri, and obviously Ferrari are in it as well because Ferrari are not doing it. So सबसे पहले let's talk about Racing Point. I think in this middle class, Racing Point are the best car. They are the best of the rest, after Mercedes and Red Bull. Why? Because I think definitely, it's there to see Racing Point have the best car among all of these teams. जिस तरीके से फरारी ने हमें सरप्राइज किया है इतना खराब कार पुटअप करके, उस तरीके से रेसिंग पॉइंट ने भी हमें सरप्राइज किया बहुत अच्छा कार पुटअप करके. I mean, when you look at the performances that these Racing Point cars are giving, it's just amazing to watch. And talking about the drivers, Lance Stroll has come into his own. I think he has matured this year. Last year बहुत ज़्यादा criticism मिलता था, but this year Lance Stroll is having some amazing races. He's doing some amazing driving this year for Racing Point. Sergio Perez has always driven beautifully for Racing Point, and I think he's doing that this year. Lance Stroll has been the better driver according to me, but Sergio Perez is chipping in with some amazing points, with some important points. So I think definitely दोनों ड्राइवर बहुत अच्छा करे. Racing Point has an amazing car, so Racing Point are in a very very good position right now. Talking about McLaren, I think कि अगर दोनों ड्राइवर्स को कंपेयर किया जाए, McLaren के दोनों ड्राइवर्स को versus Racing Point के दोनों ड्राइवर्स, तो I think McLaren have the better drivers, more talented drivers, but Racing Point have the faster car. So I think Lando Norris has been amazing this year. He has gotten some amazing points for McLaren, for some very important points. Talking about the second McLaren driver, that is Carlos Sainz. So I think he has definitely been not as good as Lando Norris when it comes to points tally, but कुछ अच्छे performances देखने मिले हैं. Just like 2 weeks ago, he won. He came second in the Italian Grand Prix. He almost won that Grand Prix. I think अगर कुछ और laps होते, then he would have definitely overtaken Pierre Gasly for the win. So definitely बहुत talented driver है. You will see Carlos Sainz doing some amazing things in the coming years in Formula One. इस साल I think कि जो इस weekend DNF मिला और 2 week पहले जो did not start मिला उन्हें, उसकी वजह से उनके points tally पे थोड़ा इफेक्ट पड़ा है. Lando Norris has been better, but definitely he has had some amazing performances and he is going to do some amazing things in the coming years. The third best team in the middle class of Formula One according to me has been Renault. They have improved a lot since last season, और जैसे ये season आगे बढ़ता गया है, they have continued to improve, I think. Or Daniel Ricciardo is doing some amazing things right now with Renault, and he is putting in some good performances. Esteban Ocon is also chipping away with some important points, and I think he is supporting Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo could have had a better driving partner, but I think still you can't really criticize Esteban Ocon for anything. Daniel Ricciardo is doing some amazing thing. Renault is in a much better place than they were in last year. Now the fourth best team in this middle class of teams, Ferrari. And I don't have to say a lot about Ferrari because I already talked about them. They just have had their fall from grace, and they are behind Racing Point, McLaren and Renault at this point. और लास्ट जो मिडिल क्लास टीम है अकॉर्डिंग टू मी इट्स AlphaTauri. Pierre Gasly has been beyond amazing. I mean, सिर्फ उनके आप पॉइंट्स फिनिशेस को नहीं देख सकते. Obviously he won the Italian Grand Prix. That was beautiful to see. But अगर आप उनके just drives को देखो, that's just he has had some beautiful races. इतना कि there was serious and there is serious talk right now of promoting him back up to Red Bull. जिस तरीके का criticism उन्हें last year मिला after having been demoted from Red Bull to Toro Rosso, and जिस तरीके से उन्होंने bounce back किया इस season, and जिस तरीके का तगड़ा driving दिखाया, जिस तरीके का he's taken the risk, he has gone out there and he has performed beautifully. I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. Danny Kvyat has also put in some good performances for AlphaTauri this season. He's definitely not on the level of Pierre Gasly right now, but he has been supporting AlphaTauri, and AlphaTauri as a team are doing some amazing things right now. Now let's talk about the bottom three teams in Formula 1. That's AlphaTauri, Williams and Haas. So एक एक करके बात करते हैं. AlphaTauri, I think, definitely struggle कर रहा है just like always. Kimi Raikkonen deserves a lot of credit because अगर आप last few races को देखो, Kimi Raikkonen has done some aggressive driving. अगर आप Italian Grand Prix को देखो, Kimi Raikkonen found himself, I think, in the second or the third spot, and he tried to defend his position beautifully for a long period of time. Definitely, he rolled back the years. So AlphaTauri is very lucky to have Kimi Raikkonen, in the driving ranks. Kimi Raikkonen doing some good things for AlphaTauri right now. Antonio Giovinazzi, I haven't really paid attention to him because he hasn't really done anything जो कि puts my attention on him. So AlphaTauri is doing okay. They have 4 points this season. Kimi Raikkonen, I think, is definitely still their star right now. Talking about Williams, तो जिस तरीके से जॉर्ज रसल निकोलस लतीफी को हर बार आउट क्वालिफाई कर रहा है, हर बार आउट परफॉर्म कर रहा है, आई थिंक इज डेफिनेटली द स्टार ऑफ दैट टीम. जॉर्ज रसल, I would say George Russell is definitely a future world champion if he can get himself into the right team. विलियम्स के साथ ऑब्वियसली वो ज़्यादा कुछ कर नहीं सकता, बट आई एम प्रिटी श्योर इफ ही वुड हैव हैड अ बेटर कार राइट नाउ, ही वुड बी इन द टॉप 10 एंड ही वुड बी इन द लाइक्स ऑफ मैक्स वर्स्टैपेन एंड चार्ल्स लेक्लेर्क and Lance Stroll. So definitely George Russell, star of this team, very talented driver. Nicholas Latifi, I don't know, I haven't seen much of him. Definitely what I have seen is just George Russell out competing him every time. Last team that is left is Haas. So Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean. So I think कि Haas definitely, bottom runners है, ज़्यादा कुछ करते नहीं है रेस में, but there were a few races जिसमें Haas top 5 में रन कर रहा था. Because obviously there was a situation जहाँ पे सबने पिट किया और हास ने नहीं पिट किया. They were running a different strategy. उसमें I think they did beautifully. So they have given us some exciting, interesting driving and racing this season. तो और अगर इस तरीके से वो इस middle class of Formula 1 को challenge करते रहे तो they can do some amazing things. But obviously ज़्यादा कुछ exciting है नहीं हास के बारे में बोलने के लिए. Definitely the bottom team in Formula 1. So with that, we can end the video. Halfway stage पे पहुंच चुका है 2020 Formula 1 season. I have, had a lot of fun watching the first 9 races. I think this season has been amazing. We have seen some exciting, interesting racing. बहुत exciting storylines है. बहुत interesting होगा देखना कि next 8 races पे how do these storylines actually play out. Comment करके बताना कि what makes you the most excited about this 2020 Formula 1 season, and have you had fun watching? तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगेगा आपके कमेंट्स को देख के. अगर आपको इस वीडियो में मजा आया तो प्लीज लाइक, कमेंट, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब, एंड सी यू गाइस इन द नेक्स्ट वन एज ऑलवेज.